Your compost pile just sits there in the corner doing absolutely nothing, never turning into that nice dark and crumbly stuff, never breaking down, just sort of existing, then stick with me for a few minutes because this video is going to fix that for you. But first, real quick, let me say who I actually am because I don't think I've ever properly introduced myself. I'm Connor. I'm the guy behind Backyard Buddy. I'm not the face of the channel. I'm the one, behind the scenes, the editor, the organizer, the guy who takes hours of footage and cuts it all down and lines it up so that what actually reaches you makes sense and looks decent. It's quiet work, nobody really sees that, which is fine. But every now and then, I'd like to step out and just talk to you directly. So here's the behind the scenes update. It's been a really busy stretch back here, more than usual. We've filmed a real pile of stuff lately, and now it's all sitting on my drive waiting for me. And it's looked like the same thing over and over again. Headphones on, sat over the desk, working through clip by clip. Some of these videos genuinely take me a couple of days to get right. People think you film it and it's done, but the filming's the easy bit. It's everything else afterwards that eats the time. Point is, there is a lot coming, and if anything, the channel is actually busier than it's ever been. It's just all stacked up back here waiting for me to finish it. Anyway, enough about me. Let me give you something good, because composting is one of those things where a few small tweaks can take you from a sad pile that never does anything to rich, free fertilizer in a few months. So 3 things I wish someone had told me at the start. First of all, and this one's a big secret, nobody explains properly, it's all about balance. Your compost needs 2 kinds of material, and the names sound fancier than they really are. You've got your greens, which are the wet, fresh stuff, your kitchen scraps, grass clippings, coffee grounds, and then you've got the browns, the dry stuff, the dead leaves, cardboard, straw, shredded paper. Greens bring the nitrogen, browns bring the carbon, and you need both. So here's where everyone goes wrong, including for me for ages. They pile in nothing but kitchen scraps and grass, all greens, and you end up with a wet, stinking, slimy mess that just rots instead of composting. The fix is to add way more browns than you think you need. A good rule is more browns than greens by quite a bit. Every time you tip a load of scraps in, throw a big handful of dry leaves or shredded cardboard on top. Get that balance right, and the smell disappears and the whole thing kind of comes alive. Second tip, give it air. A compost pile is full of tiny living things doing all the breaking down for you. And just like you and me, they need to breathe. So if a pile just sits there, packed down, and it never gets disturbed, the air can't get in, and it goes slow and sour and slimy. So turn it, every week or 2. Get a fork in there and mix it all up. Bring the outside into the middle, fluff it up, let some air in. I know it's a little bit of effort, but it's the single biggest thing you can do to speed up the whole process. A pile that gets turned regularly breaks down so much faster than one that just sits. And here's a little sign to watch for. A pile that's working properly actually heats up in the middle, so you can feel the warmth actually when you turn it. Sometimes even a little bit of steam coming off it if it's like a cold morning or something like that. That heat is all that life breaking your scraps down for you. If the pile's stone cold and nothing's changing, that's your clue that something's off. Usually it's too dry, too packed down, or short on greens. A warm pile is a happy pile, and if you really want to speed it up, you chop your material small before it goes in. Smaller pieces break down quicker. Simple as that. Third tip here, moisture. This trips people up because it's a balance again. Your pile wants to be damp, but not soaking. The way I always remember it, it should feel like a wrung out sponge. Squeeze a handful of it and it should feel moist. Maybe a drop or 2 comes out, but it shouldn't be dripping. If it's bone dry, nothing breaks down. The whole thing just stalls. So give it water if it's in a dry spell. If it's soggy, like let's say a swamp, that's your sign you've got too many greens and not enough air, so pile on the browns and then turn it. Damp like a sponge. That's the sweet spot. And one quick thing on what actually to keep out, because it matters. Don't put meat, dairy, or oily, greasy food in there. It doesn't break down well. It stinks. It'll bring in rats and all sorts of things like that sniffing around. Same goes for dog or cat waste. Just leave it out. Keep it to your fruit and vegetable scraps, your garden trimmings, your leaves and paper, and then you'll be golden. Golden. So that's the three. Balance your greens and browns with plenty of browns. Turn it for air. Keep it damp like a sponge. Do those, and that dead pile in the corner turns into the best free fertilizer you'll ever put in your garden. So that's the update and the tip for you today. So thank you, genuinely, for sticking with this channel. I'm just a guy, in the background most of the time, but I read what all of you write, and I see you all turning up, and it keeps me going on the late nights. There's loads more content on the way. So go sort out that compost pile, throw some browns on it, and I'll catch you in the next one.